Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Yes, it is Monday and I am so excited, so excited. But as you always know, it seems like I'm always so excited, right? It's just an automatic thing for me. I just get like, just, just get excited, especially on a Monday. And people ask me, Barbara, why do you get so hyped on Monday? Why you get so hyped on Monday? Why you do that? I said, because it's the beginning. It's like a new beginning for the week to help you, kind of move and groove and do what you have to do. Now, we don't look at what happened last week. We don't look at, okay, I didn't get nothing. Well, I didn't get nothing done Friday, or, over the weekend, I had this plan, and then I got this plan, this done. Or, maybe got a lot of done, and you're like, whew, I got that over with. Now I can start something new and get on my other list of things to do. Either way it goes, it's Monday. It's a beginning, for you to just think different ways. And that should be every day, not just a Monday. But I know Mondays are one of those, oh, okay, I had to get up. So I have to turn that. And I'm so excited because, and just to let everybody know, starting in May, we're going to have a person that's going to be coming on every Monday. And his mission, he said, is to change Mondays from just the norm into excitement. That is Marty Jalal. He is going to be coming on, and there's going to be some new things coming on in the show, and he's just one of them. So just let everybody know, you haven't seen nothing yet when he comes. But before we do that, before May comes, we have an awesome show today. We have two spectacular people. We have a Queen Diamond. I always call my lady Queen Diamonds. She is a doctor, and she just became a doctor in the year of the corona, the coronavirus. She became a doctor. So right there tells you there are no excuses. None whatsoever. This woman sat there and said, you know what? I don't care what's going on. She fought through that COVID, fought through everything and said, I am going to get my PhD, and I got it. And how you like me now? Like they say, how you like me now? So I'm just loving her. And then we're going to have a wonderful musician come on, Quincy Mitchell, and he's going to tell us his story and how he plays the saxophone, and he's going to get more into his backstory. But before all that, I always have to come with some positive, either quote or something that I read. And I'm reading out of this wonderful book that I got for my birthday. Mary Ellen, she was on another platform of mine with Celebrate You. And I'm telling you, this book, you have to buy this book. I'm putting it up here. You have to buy this book. There is so many good quotes in here. It's called Taking Responsibility, Unleashing the True Healing, 366 Daily Truths to Guide You. It's funny, it says 366. I should have asked her what, because I know it's probably 365. I don't know why it's that's kind of interesting. I have to answer that question. So let me just read this, and then we're going to get into the show. At times, allow your heart to guide your actions. You will indirectly improve your own existence when you do your best to help other people realize their dreams. The time and resources you invest in others is always returned to you as humanity changes for better. You may only be able to help one person do one thing, yet your intentions go forward, inspiring others to follow in your footsteps. Today, have others' interests in mind and follow your heart. Be genuine. Enjoy the day. And I think this is a really good passage for Monday because it's not about, okay, people get upset at me. Really, it's not about you. It's about others. It's about helping others. It's about helping them move to the next level of their lives. Because when you help others, automatically, I always tell people, automatically, you will move up. You'll get the blessings, as I say. You will see the difference in you, growing in you, because you took that extra step to say, hey, I am going to help another person get through what they're trying to get through their life. So never, never, never think that it's a waste of time or energy, or you're just taking a lot out of you to put in somebody else's life, because you don't know how much you're changing a person's life when you put your all into someone else. Because I hate to say that, see, the missions that people that are coming on today and people that I talk to all the time, that is their mission. Most of the people that I talk to, they're always talking about, Barbara, I just want to help others. I know I'm going to be okay, but I help other people. And that is a good thing, because that's what we need right now. We need to help each other in a positive manner so we can get this world healed. I keep telling people this world is hurting, and we need to show that love to each other. So with that said, let me start the show. You know, I always rock it out. I told everybody I'm getting drums. I decided. I decided last week I'm going to get some drums and I'm going to learn it. I'm going to be cracking it. You're going to see me on the show one day. You'll be like, well, I got a drum set. And I'll be like, now I feel like I can do it. I can do it with my mouth more than I can do it with my hands. So I'll probably have a better tempo doing it without doing boom, 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 boom. Then you'd be like, okay, Barbara, cut it out. That's okay. You need some lessons. So with that, we're going to bring on, because I want to make sure we have time for both of our wonderful guests today. And this woman, I met her through another wonderful lady named Luana Bradford. And the story, this is okay that we said this is a true story. This is a true story because Luana Bradford, she's the kind of person that she tells you to work with someone or get with somebody and they're going to help you in a certain way and going to just blow you up, you need to listen to what she has to say. And she texted me one day through Facebook and she's like, Barbara, you need to talk to this wonderful lady named Tami Patzer. And I said, okay. And she said, she has this package and she's a visual branding strategist. She's a guru. She is the one you need to, and she just basically told me, she wasn't sugarcoating anything. She said, you need to do this, period. You need to get her package so she can help you out and make, and get you to that next level. She has a book and she has a lot of other ways how to give you visibility. And I was like, okay, let me contact her. Because when she said, you need to, usually when people say, well, maybe you need to think about it, or maybe check the person out, or maybe read about it. No, it was none of that. It was like, you need to do this. So when she said that, I said, okay, let me contact this lady, because I was like, oh my God. And she was so right. This is, okay. She's a celebrity to me. She is a celebrity to me. She has a heart of gold. She owns her own, company where she helps people. I'm telling you, she takes you to this level, just like that, like to this level. I mean, talking about being on different platforms, CBS, NBC, all that. I'm telling you, this woman is just awesome. And like I said, she has doctor in front of her name in the pandemic. So I'm going to bring her on because why am I going to talk about it? I want her to talk about her. I mean, I can give her a kudos because I love what she does and I love meeting her. And we've been, ever since we met, it's just, to me, it's been a whole sound relationship where I just always give her kudos. I'm her cheerleader. Every time I see her post something or helping other people, I like try to, be out there and cheering her on. So we are going to bring on, but I got to bring on the people the right way. I just don't just say, here, there it comes. So we're going to do a little clip for her.
Wow. That was really nice. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course, this is royalty in the house. I have to do it right. How you doing, lady?
Good. I was so happy last night when I got the reminder. So I set my alarm so that I would be sure to be up and ready to go this morning. So it's fun, and I really appreciate the Monday because a lot of people. It's funny because I don't have a lot of appointments on Mondays because people don't want to do anything. So for me, Monday's a really productive day because I'm not interrupted. So I'm excited to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to have you. When you told me that you would be willing to come on the show, because I know you have your busy schedule, I was like, yes, 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 yes. So I'm just so glad that you're here. And I hear back. I hope it's not me. I hear this a little back here. I might have to turn me down a little bit because I know I can get loud. But I'm glad to have you. You have been such an inspiration to me. Like I said, I just said the story about, Luana introducing me to you and what I needed to do. And I just want you to get a little bit of, just tell the listeners who you are and what you really do for people to make them just these stars that you do.
So it's always hard to talk about yourself, but how I see myself is I am the messenger's messenger. And what that means is that my purpose is to help people like you who have these big messages and big missions to get found and seen and heard. And so my background literally is mass communications. I have a master's degree in mass communications, and then I actually taught at the University of South Florida for 10 years and taught mass communications courses in broadcasting and broadcast history and all this media stuff. And then, of course, when social media came on, I knew I needed to learn about that so that I could help people transition from what you would call old school to new media. But what I do is I literally do what I call a new media mash. I mash up old school media, which would be television, radio, newspapers, magazines, and I mash it up with social media, podcasting, the new TV streaming. Like, for example, your show is an example of new media mashed up with old media, television and streaming. So I help people literally get found, seen, and heard. And then I add a little spice to it by using the press to get it spread out so that Google will pick up your information. So, for example, if I write a press release, I'll send it out to anywhere from 100 to 500 different media outlets. And then those get picked up by Google and Bing and Yahoo and the search engines. And all of a sudden, there you are. You have this massive footprint that is not only deep, it's wide. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm a hybrid publisher also because I also use books.
Yes. So you're just like, you're like the master of the masters when it comes to helping out people get that visibility. Now, it's funny because I see why we gel, because as you know me, my mission is to help women, first of all, find their PPD, their purpose, passion, drive, and then from that, give them exposure that I can do on my level. But from the level that I am compared to yours, I love how you said you take the old school and the new school and you blend it together, because that's what's needed. You need a little bit of, what used to be back in the day. I know we're aging myself and we're both in the same age. And then, bringing it to now with all the social media going on. And now you have Clubhouse, which is just blown up. And now you got to figure out. So it seems like every day you have to just figure out ways to say, okay, what can I do to increase somebody's visibility even more and what everything's going on? Because you got to keep up with what's going on, and you got to make sure your client is being put in those avenues. So do you see that a challenge at times?
What the challenge is the big thing is, which one should I do? And many people think they have to do everything. I mean, for example, you mentioned Clubhouse, which right now is only open if you are an iPhone user, but it is very popular. There's Snapchat, there's TikTok, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Pinterest, there's Twitter. And the big question is, which one should I use? So my advice is always use the one where your clients and customers hang, where they are. And that may be Facebook and Instagram. It could be Twitter. It could be Clubhouse. But don't think that you have to do every single one. Choose the ones where your clients and customers are actually hanging out. That's how I eliminate that overwhelm, because I have tried to do everything, and some of it I'll sample it and I'll say, you know what, it's fun and everything, but is this the best way to use my time? So I personally love shows like yours and podcasting. Because, for example, this is a video and it will go out on YouTube and all of your different TV stations. And I can write about the fact I was on your show and share that in all the different social media. So I love podcasting, and especially the video, what I would call a video podcast or a video TV show, because of the power. It has video, it has audio, it is very functional, and this will last forever. It'll be out there forever.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I'm so glad. See, that's why I know you're the expert. You're the guru. Yeah, that's why I love when you said about, picking one out. Because like I said, I hear people all the time, Tami, where it says, I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't know which one to go to. I mean, I have Facebook. I mean, the list of things that you just listed, and people are like, well, what do I go to? What do I use? And they feel like they have to throw everything everywhere. And then I tell people, when you do that, it really doesn't give you that push, because you're just everywhere, splattering all over the place, and you're not really just putting more time into that certain platform that you need to find your niche of clients, or business relationships, or who you're trying to look for, because they're so busy trying to cover everything, and don't really understand how things work, because you're just kind of throwing stuff out there. So I'm so glad you said that to the listeners, because I think that's needed more and more, because we do get excited. We tend to get excited because where you say, well, if somebody would say, oh, you need to go here on TikTok. Oh, no, you gotta go over here on Facebook. Oh no, you better put, it's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. That becomes a job of its own, as you know.
Marketing is like job one when you really look at it. And that's why I think it's so important for people to look at what they already have, because many of us have, let's say, for example, we've done several podcasts, or maybe we've been on TV or on a radio show, and we're on to the next thing, and we don't realize that we have literally digital assets. I call it digital gold in everything we've already produced. It could be all of your shows, for example. Think about television and reruns. Where did the Golden Girls make all their money? It wasn't back in 1987 when the show first aired. It's been in all of the reruns. I mean, for example, the Golden Girls are on, I think it's the Hallmark Channel, and they run like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours a day at least. Of 7 days a week, you can find Golden Girls, and think about all the residual income and the love that people have for those women. And every woman except for Betty White has now passed, but they're just as alive now as they were. And the same thing happens with us and our marketing and our visibility. You can use what you're doing today, and like, for example, our interview today will be just as relevant 5 years from now, because we're talking about media, about what's fresh now. There may be new platforms. Some of the platforms may be gone, but the basic concepts of using video as a foundation and sharing it repeatedly, repurposing it, will still be valid. I was talking about using video as your foundation for marketing back in 2009, and I just was at the local Chamber of Commerce last week talking about video as the foundation of your marketing, and I showed them videos that I had done in 2009 that are actually still out there working for me, because I was talking about what was going on with video and why it's so powerful. So I just think it's amazing to me how everything that we're doing can be repurposed and reused and keep working for us, so that you'll grow that online footprint. And not only is it the online footprint, it goes out into, you know, what I call the real world. We live in our real world, in our virtual world. And again, it mashes up. And that's how I came up with the concept of the Blue Ocean Authority. If you've ever read the book about the Blue Ocean, which is really about business and red oceans and blue oceans, and you want to be a blue ocean because you stand out. You're the unique one in the crowd, and you have no competition because of who you are. And I think I interviewed you, and I think we talked about that, about how if you are authentic and real, and you find your purpose and your passion and your destiny, that makes you just stand out, and you attract people to you.
Yes. I love, got a lot of good stuff. But first of all, I'm loving what you named your company. Like you said, the Blue, because you do that for people. You literally help people stand out in their business and in their personal life when you really think about it. And you're helping people get to others so they can touch others to help them grow. And see, that's what it's all about. I was talking about earlier before you came on, is that, you know, we're vessels. We're just kind of tools being used so we can help that next person in life. And you did it. You did this so awesome. And I was just like, wow, because, you know, I know I'm in the book. You interviewed me, and now this is one thing I wanted you to talk just a little bit about. It was a different style, which I'm loving now, because when you said, well, Barbara, you don't have to, it's not like you're writing your chapter. It's more so like, I'm going to interview you. And I said, oh, so you're just going to ask me questions? You said, yeah, I'm going to send you some questions. You know, we're going to talk. There's a conversation, and we're going to use that, and that's going to be your chapter. And I was like, now that is different. Now, I've been in other collaboration books, and I love them dearly. But when you did that, that's a different spin. And I like how you do that. So what made you kind of decide to do in that style instead of maybe because you're unique in that way, I was about to say.
Well, let's just say I've discovered that I don't always think exactly the way other people think, but actually how that all came about was I was doing podcasts, and I started out and I did Business Innovators, which was men and women, but in 2016, I really got hit with women not really having voices. And I also, by then, had done near 150 podcasts, and I wasn't able to monetize them in any significant way. And so let's just say I was getting a little desperate, and I got a little angry at God. And I yelled at God, and I said, God, please, I can't go back to work. I mean, I am, let's just say I am a baby boomer, and I am not work material anymore, working for $10, $15 an hour. It just doesn't work for me. And I can't tolerate, the standing on my feet for 8 to 12 hours a day. So I got mad at God, and I said, God, please give me an answer. And what I got was women innovators, leaders, makers, and givers, women who make a daily difference. Create a podcast called that, but it's not about the podcast. That's your book. And so this was right after the 2016 elections. And of course, women were pretty upset because the voices had been really pushed down. And again, that wasn't a controversial topic. You know, it was women innovators, leaders, makers, and givers, women who make a daily difference. So I actually went on Facebook and I said, I'm writing a book. And I said, you want to be part of it? And that was Saturday morning. Well, by Sunday night, I had 64 women who said, I want to be part of your book. And it was like, okay, how am I going to accommodate 64 women and get this out quickly? And the concept of, well, you're doing these interviews. So I came up with very specific questions that I would ask each one. And then the idea was, okay, instead of having it be a written chapter or ghost written or have them provide chapters, it was, we'll have conversations. And so I ended up at that point, I did 8 Women Innovators books and then 2 special books. One was Big Message, Big Mission, and another was Self-Made Woman. And those were all interview books. And so that is carried on. And you're actually featured in a book called Expert Profiles, because it's their profiles, their conversations. And in these conversations, you know, we ask the questions, and in your own words, you answer the questions, and we edit them, you know, to remove some of the ums and ahs and anything that is off topic, but they're very enjoyable. And the people reading the book, they're told these are conversations, you know, and then the beauty of it is they're tied to a podcast episode. So somebody can go and listen to the exact conversation and get all of the deeper details that, of course, are not included in the book chapter, because the way that I do the book chapters, I make sure that it's you talking and not me, because I always add my 2 cents and
more than 2 cents, much more than 2 cents
to it. So, but in the chapter itself, I keep it all about you, because I think that that's the purpose, because it's a profile about you, not a profile about me. But I think these conversations are very enjoyable, and the women who participated in that first group of books, I've followed their path, you know, along the way, and many of them, if not all of them, have gone on to become larger and bigger, because I actually, part of my gift also when I talk to people is I start to see who they can become, and why it's so important for me to be the messenger's messenger, because I have this background. And one thing I just want to remind people about why it's so important. You know, we're laughing about our age and the fact that we have this experience with old school media, you know, for example, radio, TV, newspapers, magazines, and then the mashup. Well, that's how I'm able to I can see this bigger picture. Yes. Than while a younger person who's never experienced some of these things like radio or TV at the level where that was the only thing we had, they don't understand the historical references and how to tie it all together, and how you can use what people might consider old school, like TV. Being on TV is still huge, even though many people aren't watching TV in the same way they used to. Now it's all on a phone, but it's still the marriage, and there's this foundations that when you bring it all together and mash it up, you've got the most powerful tools on earth for authority and celebrity and for growing your presence in the world. So it's all very exciting to me.
Well, you just excite me, just what you do and the knowledge that you give. And like you said, it's nice to have, again, I want to say it, the old school and new school mixed together. Because when you were talking about that, and like, back in the day when we were growing up, there was no cell phone. I think what the first cell phone I seen was that big brick. I always called it a brick, and it was like this huge. It was huge. It's probably in like a historical museum right now being displayed. But we didn't have that when we, like you said, there was real like newspapers where a newspaper person, but boy or girl would just put it up on your step, and then you would get the newspaper. It wasn't all the technology and how it just has branched into this whole huge different atmosphere than what it used to be. And but to still give reverence to what we used to do and then what we do now and putting it together that's phenomenal what you do. So I'm just at all that you are the messenger of messengers, because I love the title that, and I know God gave you that title to make sure that you're helping others, especially women, and because we need you. We definitely need you. And I'm just excited that you're on the show, and hopefully you'll come back. But before we do all that, I always give our guests just like maybe a 2 minute, maybe a minute and a half. I kind of take myself down, and then you give like some lasting like tips or just a message that you want the listeners to hear. So Tami, I'm going to take myself down for a minute, and I'm going to let you give the wisdom and the knowledge you have for everybody.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Wow. So it's funny because I've actually been working on a book. This is a new book. It's called Clarity Meditation 30-Day Journal. And as you can tell here, I just got the proof. But I've also been working on a new book, and I want to give you some tips about video. And back in the day, I did a lot of work with a guru named Mike Koenigs. And he taught us about something called the 10 by 10 by 4 video system. And I always teach this to people because it really works. And of course, what the 10 is when you make a video, you come up with 10 frequently asked questions and answer them in 1 to 3 minutes. And of course, you can make your videos using tools like Zoom or StreamYard, Facebook Live, or any video system, your iPhone or your Android. The second set of 10 questions are the should ask questions. The questions that people just don't know enough to ask, and you answer them because they're the should ask questions so that they can compare apples to apples or oranges to oranges when they're trying to figure out, should they work with you? And then you have 4 additional videos. One is like a welcome video that you would put on your page. The other one is a thank you video when they get your video package. And then the third is a secondary call to action, like subscribe or go here for this free gift. But if you actually create these 20 or 24 videos, you could have, number one, something to give away so that you can grow your email list or your client or customer list, or you could sell it depending on what it is. But the concept is to be able to create something. Here's the little twist in that you can do. You can take those 10 frequently asked questions and 10 should ask questions, turn them into a book. And how you would do that is you would transcribe it. And there's some ways to get things transcribed that are either low cost or free. One is if you put your video on YouTube, it will make a transcript of it. And again, some of those transcriptions are kind of funny, so you have to edit it. Or you can pay $1.25 a minute to rev.com, or I think it's 25 cents a minute to Temi, Temi. And then there's Otter, OTTER.ai. That's about $100 a year. I've tested all of these. Yes, the human transcription is the best, but Otter.ai is very good, and you can, of course, edit it. So those are some tips.
Thank you, Miss Expert. Ooh, Doctor, Miss Awesome, just everything. Guru, I don't know. I mean, I can just think of a whole bunch of other words, but I know the time is getting near.
Well,
thank you for gracing this show and giving us those tips. People, please, okay, this is what I always do. I do this all the time, Tam. I have to tell my audience this. Go talk to Tami. Reach out to Tami. You see what she does. I mean, she just gave you just a little bit of what she does today. This woman is huge. And I'm telling you, you don't want to become celebrity status with the quickness, and she will help you with that. Go to Tami. I'm telling you. I will recommend you until I'm gone.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And just to let everybody know, when I interviewed you about your story, it really touched me, and it was just a beautiful, amazing story. So I want everyone to go. They can actually go listen to your interview at Business Innovators Radio. I think it's live now. And then, of course, when the Expert Profiles book comes out, they'll be able to see that. But you do have a magnificent story, and everyone has this story inside of them that needs to be told, because it's about who you are and why you are, how you are expressing that purpose and passion and all your destiny. So I really appreciate that you invited me today. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ask you to come back. So this is not the first. So I would love you to come back,
because again, depending on the focus, we could talk about a lot of really interesting things that people can do that will help them become the person that they're meant to be.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, Tami, probably you agree with, is you have to have, whatever you do, you have to have that strategy. And you do that so well with others. I mean, even myself, I look at things differently now, after I talked to you and we did my interview and how you've been putting things out. And I'm like, wow, she's giving me focus. She's giving me a purpose to do the things I do. Got it. So yeah, it's a way to do things in life. And you have really narrowed it down so you can really be focused on what you're supposed to be doing to get yourself to that next level. So thank you, lady. Queen Diamond. You're royalty to me. You're royalty. And just real quickly, Tami, please let them know how they can contact you. Please let them know.
The easiest way is you can actually just go friend me on Facebook under Tamara, Tamara Patzer. You'll recognize it because there's a photograph of me and I look like me. Just friend me and say that you heard about me on Barbara Beckley's Diamond Factor Experience show, and I'll do that. And then if you want to talk to me, we can set up a little appointment and you can tell me what you're trying to accomplish, and I'll try to help you the best I can.
And she will help you. She will help you. Thank you, lady, for coming on. And like I said, this won't be the last. So I'm just going to say, see you soon. That's what I'm going to say. See you soon.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was fun. A great way to start Monday.
Yay. Mondays. I told you Mondays are awesome. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Barbara.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure, because usually when I go down and I come back up, then the mute button's on, and I'm like, you can't hear me, and I'm like, I missed the mute button, but this time I'm getting it. I'm getting it, everybody. You learn every day. You learn every day. Now we are going to go into and I'm loving this because I have this awesome, tremendous musician that's coming on, and he's going to have to correct me. I hope I say his name right because I hate messing up people's names. Quint Mitchell. Quentin Mitchell. Hopefully that's right. He'll correct me. He'll correct me. But this is a person that I'm just meeting. But I feel like, you know how sometimes when you're introduced to somebody and you can just feel the vibe, and you say, you know what? That person's awesome, tremendous, amazing, and he has to come on the show. So he is coming on right now. But before we do that, again, I need to introduce these wonderful people in the right way. So here's a little clip for Quinn, and he'll be coming right on after this. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Barbara?
I am doing fabulous this morning. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic. I didn't know there's going to be a little clip of me being played during the show before I come on, so that was pretty cool. Thanks for showing that.
No problem.
But it is Quinn, not Quint. Quinn. Yep.
Quinn.
Yep. Not a problem. So, you know what? I've had so many people call me so many different things.
That's why I always have to ask. Yeah, because I want to make sure I do it right. I mean, can you believe that out of Barbara, I have different facets of that name? I mean,
I can imagine.
And it's, you think, like you said, you think it's just, okay, what's the problem? What's the problem, right? But then people have their own ways. So I thank you for correcting me. And I appreciate you coming on this morning. I know we were introduced by a wonderful lady that we both know. Yes, and when she told me, she said, Barbara, I have a person that's going to be awesome to come on. And I said, really, really, really? Because I'm always looking for good people to come on the show. And when she told me about you, I was like, yes, he has to come on. He has to come on. Well, and then when she said you play the saxophone and stuff, I said, oh, I hope he plays or something. So I was, all last night, I was like, I hope he plays something. I hope he plays something.
Well, I tell you what, I will only play something if you really want me to. So yeah, for sure. But I really appreciate you having me. This is so cool. I mean, I've heard of StreamYard, and I've seen some people doing things on YouTube and all, but this is so cool what you're doing here. I appreciate you doing this, and appreciate you for having me as well. This looks like it's going to be fun. I'm already having fun. Let me get started. Yes.
Well, I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad you came on. And this is, like I said, I created this platform because I really wanted to help others just, shine and get them on platforms where people can see the genius and the gifts that you have. So, if I can just be a little, like I always tell people, just a little bit tool to get you to that level, this puts a smile in my heart. So I'm glad to have you. And well, before you play anything, because I need to calm down because I really want to hear you play. But we want people to get to know who you are and how did you start? I love people's backstories. I always tell people, tell us the backstory of how you became this magnificent, musician.
So it all started for me when I was about 7 years old. So I grew up in church, and the pastor of the church invited a gospel saxophonist, and he came into our church and played. And my parents, they bought the album of this artist. His name is Bernard Johnson. I actually got a chance to meet him a couple of times in person, but anyway, later on in years. But anyway, as a kid, I was just like fascinated with it, right? With his playing and with his ability and the ability to minister and capture the audience. And so my dad always had this reel-to-reel recorder and would always record different services and all. And so growing up, I would listen to it over and over again. I would play my parents would play the record over usually on Sunday mornings was our gospel time where they would play all the records on the quartets and all the other music there on Sunday mornings as we prepared for church. But it wasn't, I got a toy saxophone and I started playing to the album. And my oldest sister told my mom, said, Mom, I think you need to get him a real saxophone because he's really playing this toy thing, But it wasn't until high school, freshman year in high school, I actually started, my mom rented a saxophone for me. And I started taking private lessons. My school didn't have a band. Prior to that, I was playing violin and other instruments, but saxophone really became my love, right? And so, and it wasn't until, after taking lessons, private lessons, I was really catching on really well and playing to Bernard Johnson's album. And, I'm playing like him, at a young age as a teenager. And because our church was always had music, choir, and music and all was always a big part of the Pentecostal type church there. And so I brought it one Sunday night and just kind of sat in with the other musicians and we're playing. And it was a communion. I remember it was a communion night and they were singing and playing At the Cross. And I was playing it along with the other musicians. And the pastor was like, yeah, I'm liking it. And he called me up to the front, to the microphone to play, during the, communion service and all, playing At the Cross there. And that was the beginning of it. that was the beginning of it. From there, I'm loving and wanting to always to be that, kind of looking at Bernard Johnson as being my mentor and wanting to be like him, right? And then again, just bought more albums of him and played more and then continued to play in churches. And from there, got invited to play at other churches and for weddings and funerals, and the list goes on. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's fun. I'll just share this real quick. It's kind of funny, but I play at funerals a lot. And one of the popular songs at the funeral I'll play is Amazing Grace. And it happens almost every time. The people are standing at their feet, clapping, praising God, and all at a funeral, right? And then someone would come up to me at the end of the funeral and say, when I die, I want you to play at my funeral. I'm so tempted. One of these days, I'm so tempted to pull out my calendar. Let's see, what day is that going to be able to make sure I'm not playing somewhere else and a plumber come and go? I'm tempted to do that one day. I probably won't though, but it's just funny.
It is funny because
over and over again.
Yeah, because I think of when you just said that, Quinn, when I'm like, okay, so will they really know? They don't know if you're going to play.
You know what I mean? They want to arrange it before, so many people. And again, people like to have a going out party, kind of a celebration of life. And so at a funeral, they want people to celebrate and praise God for life and all. So,
and they know you're going to bring it. Yeah. And they know you're going to bring it. So that's in a way, that's a good thing. That's giving you so many, kudos because they hear you. They're like, oh, when my homecoming, when I go away, I want Quinn to play because
sure.
Awesome.
Hey,
it's just funny. They got to make those arrangements. Don't let the person know. That's how they do that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. But I love how. See, this is why I like to hear the backstories of people, the background of how they start. See, it always takes, and this is a good. If the listeners out there listening to how things start when you're young. And I'm loving how, you just picked up a toy saxophone and then now look at you now. And it took not just that, but your sister and your parents and everybody to kind of just hone in on it to see what you really like to do. Because a lot of times, I think of, I took this story about my own self the other day when I was talking to somebody about, I want to be a dancer. I want to be a choreographer. I love fame and I love the show and I love how they were dancing and stuff. And my mother put me in ballet class and I couldn't get in ballet, you have to have, put the foot up and all that. You have to do it a certain way. And it seemed like I was just an eyeball in that class. I don't know why I couldn't get it right. They were going left. I was going right. They were going, this way. And then my mother seen that. My mother was like a sergeant. She's like, okay, after 2 weeks, now 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks. She's like, okay, I'm getting you out of this. You're not good at this. And, and sometimes I think about if she would have just left me in there, maybe
just a little longer, right?
Just a little longer.
No, you know what? It's so helpful when you got family and friends and all that believe in you. They
Yes,
see that sometimes
definitely.
they see beyond what you see.
Yes,
And so
yes,
I'm just
yeah,
thankful that my sister first recognized it, and then my mom was the one that really just believed in me, and would
yes.
continue to encourage me. She played piano and organ as well,
Mhm.
so the music was in the family. But she, I was the only one out of the five kids that really stuck with the instrument, with playing. Um,
Okay.
really took it up a lot more seriously than the others there. So, but she was the one that really was my backing and inspiration there. So,
Well, thank you, Ma.
yeah,
I'm
there you
glad
go.
she kept pushing. She
There
seen it
you
and she
go.
kept saying, "Hey, this is your
Oh,
niche. This
sure.
is what you
Oh,
love."
sure.
Now,
Definitely.
you said you played the violin too. So, how many instruments do you play?
So I started out playing violin in like fourth grade, and even in school, in grade school, you always had like the flutophone and recorder. The kids would play, and so I really kind of got good with that, with the recorder and flutophone. But then I had one of the, I don't know if it was a music teacher or someone came into the school, like in fourth grade or so, and was playing the violin, and I was like, wow, that was pretty cool, and I took an interest in that and started playing the violin. Um, all the way up to middle school, and it wasn't until high school that's when I transitioned to saxophone. So I haven't touched the violin in years. My daughter started playing; she was pretty good with it, and then just got involved with other things, sports and all. But and my other daughter, she used to play the flute as well, and she was pretty good at it. But again, I'm still the only one in the family, even my family now, the only one is still sticking with the music there, with
Still
the
standing.
instrument there. But yeah, so then I also play a little piano. So I'm not really the
Okay.
greatest, but I can figure it out, and I can,
Yeah.
punch out some basics there. And so, those, and
Yeah.
drums, I'll play around on the drums a little bit. So,
Oh,
I carried the
yeah.
services a few times playing drums. So that's
Wow.
basically the only instruments there that I played.
It's funny you talked about drums because now all of a sudden I'm thinking I want to give me a drum set. It's like,
You
first
know?
of all, I just love all different kinds of genre of music.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when our Neri told me about you, and I was like, oh my God, he's a musician. Yes, I can finally get somebody on the show. We can get some more musicians coming here.
So you
Yeah.
never had a musician on the show before?
This year, my first, you're making,
Hey,
yes,
history. I like
history in the
it. Let's
making.
go down in the history books. Here we go. Fantastic.
Yes, that's why I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I'm like, oh my God, I got my first musician on the show.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So this
yeah.
is
Well,
telling me there's hope that I can get more people to come
for sure.
on that's
Well, I tell
musicians.
you what, if you can't get any more, then just have me come back again. That's all.
Oh, oh, now you know I was going to ask you. Just to give you a little yeah, I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
ask you that.
It's just a done deal, right?
That's a good deal, yeah. Yeah, hope
But
you know. Hopefully you knew
you
that.
haven't heard me play yet, though, right?
You didn't get the memo. Yeah, you're coming back.
I hear you. All right. Well,
So,
glad.
one more thing before we get you, because like I said, I want to hear the playing, but
Sure.
before we get to that, now question that I'm asking because as started last year and we're into this year, the elephants in the room, the pandemic thing. How has that kind of changed you in a way, as being a musician, as being out there? Because I know maybe you travel a lot, you were traveling and everything, but now it's like, we have to be at home. I mean, we're seeing a little light at the end of this tunnel now with the vaccine, being vaccinated,
Sure.
all that. So what was your kind of turning point? And what did you kind of do in that area?
Well, so for one, well, other than music, I'm also in ministry, and so I do prophetic training as well and speaking, teaching. So I'm on every Sunday mornings as well, afternoons on Facebook, doing some live teaching from the Word. So that's something that I do other than music. But when it comes to the music, yeah, it impacted the industry. I mean, worldwide, right? So I literally had quite a few weddings that I was gearing up for to play at weddings. And also, I play for, when I'm playing for weddings, sometimes I'll play for the bride as she's coming down the aisle. I'll do cocktail hour, processional music for the bridal party as well. First dance, playing for the first dance as well. So all of that came to a screeching halt, obviously, right? So I did one wedding last year, and it was an outdoor wedding. But yeah, that just changed everything. So I'm like, you know what? For one, I literally have to start going back into the studio, my little studio here, and creating more music. So I've recorded. I recorded 5 CDs. So I did a lot of, I love doing Christmas songs. I recorded 4 Christmas CDs, right? And I did my first gospel CD years ago as well. But there's more music in me that I just haven't released yet, and some original material. So being involved in church and the worship and all, I wrote a lot of worship songs. I got about a good 15 or so worship songs that I never recorded, never released. So, connecting with other musicians and producers and all, trying to just really kind of get this out of me into something that's tangible for people to hear and listen to and really be blessed by it. That's one of the things that my claim is that when I play, I'm changing atmospheres. I'm showing up, and we're going to change this atmosphere. Whatever's going to, whatever platform it is, whether it's a funeral, whether it's a wedding, whether it's, a podcast or a show like this, be prepared. I'm going to change the atmosphere. Right. So
well, you have impact.
So when it comes to the things that we had to do, I started doing doing online stuff where, I do a little clip here and there of me playing some music, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And really it was just like, all right, I have all this talent. I just can't keep sitting here and not going out and playing. So just trying to find different ways and venues, opportunities to connect with others, and even like yourself. And, because we thrive off of that response from people. Our goal is to impact and change people's lives with our gifts and talents. And if we're not, reaching people, we're like, it just drives us nuts.
You're like, I gotta reach them.
It's like, I gotta play for somebody. So even if it's just my dogs or something, I gotta play for somebody. So again, just started doing little things here and there online, and played for others that had a little conference or something online and was their guest musician. So just looking to do more things like that until we can get back out to playing again in public.
Yeah. But I'm loving how I think we all have, because we had to do that turn. We had to make some changes because we was kind of forced in a sense.
Yeah, right.
But I'm glad that we went, that you went, and a few other people that I always ask this question to, thought of and said, you know what, I turned some things. I was more creative in some areas with what I do. I looked at different avenues on how I can, show my expertise, show my gifts, which you did too. Streaming online. I mean, this whole technology is the new thing now, because
Sure.
we're like right now we're online here, and sure. that's another platform for us to show our genius. So I'm so glad that you still said to yourself, you know what? Okay, it's happening. Can't do nothing. It's out of my control, but what can I do that I can control my atmosphere, what I need to do to move forward? So you did that really well. Okay, now I gotta do it. You gotta play. You gotta play.
Well, all right. So there's different genres of music that I do play. Many people, when they think of saxophone, they just automatically think jazz, right?
Yes.
So again, me growing up in church playing saxophone, it was like very odd to see a saxophonist in church, playing in different church events, right? Yeah. Sure. So again, that was something that I patterned after my mentor, vicarious mentor, Bernard Johnson. And, it was just an unheard of thing. So that, and then, playing at different other venues outside of church. And there's, when you go outside of church, sometimes people don't want to hear church music, Christian music, or gospel music at a wedding or something there. So I got to play something different, like, some Kenny G songs or something like that. So you tell me, what is it? What do you want to start off with? What do you want?
You're giving me?
I'm going to let you decide which genre you want to start with. And then, is it just one song you want to play, or I mean, I'm not, what I'll do is I'll play just a little bit of it instead of tying up a whole lot of time playing a full song.
Okay. Well, yeah, so if you could do 2 short versions of the song,
okay,
that'd be awesome.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that if you're willing to do that, you could do one like, spiritual, and then one that's, that maybe jazzy.
Sure. All right.
A little bit of both.
All right. Well, let me put my glasses on so I can see the tracks here. Here we go. Here's a song here. CC Winans started to make this song pretty popular. It's called Never Lost, Never Lost a Battle, talking about God showing up to fight on our behalf. And when he gets involved, he's never going to lose that battle. So here's a song. And I think Torrance Wells and um, I forget the name of the church that really made this song popular, but here we go. I'll give you a little taste of it. Now I start getting happy now, so I gotta quit. I gotta quit.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I had to put myself on mute just so I wouldn't be like screaming.
Well, see, this song keeps building, and it just crescendos a little bit later on. But you just get carried away with it.
I see you are a born. Oh my God, born to do this. You can just see the emotion and passion, and I'm sitting there just like, yes,
yeah, right.
I said, what time is? I said, dang. I see. That's why. Yep. That's why you come back.
So, what time is it there? So, do we got time to do just another little quick one?
Yeah. I'm making time for you. Yeah.
Oh, you gonna make time, right?
I'll make some time for this.
All right. So I got my other little secret weapon here, and this is a different kind of saxophone. So this is a soprano saxophone. This is what you'll see Kenny G playing mostly, and many times when I'm playing this, I get people coming to me. You sound just like Kenny G, So I'll give you a little taste of this one here. All right, so here's a song. This is a good wedding song that I like to do. Let me just get my glasses again here. So. We start getting a little bit older. We got to depend on these little.
Oh yeah, look at me. Hey, without these, I can't see. It's all blurry.
I'm telling you. All right, so here we go. Let me find this real quick. Let's see. Finding this song. So song Joe Crocker's. I don't know if you know that name or not, but going back some time, and Ray Charles made this song very, very popular. So here we go. On a soprano saxophone, you are so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I know that. A concert up in here. The Diamond Saxophone. Oh, I had to put myself on mute because I was just singing and hollering.
And you know what? Because again, the goal is to really impact people and change people's lives with and creating the atmosphere. I'm looking at you and I'm seeing you sway. And I'm like, every time you sway, I'm gonna throw some more at you. But yeah. Now what? Yeah.
See, you are not right. That's because I was just jiving. I said, okay, I gotta keep it a little bit, but I was like,
that's what we do when we know that we're connecting with that audience. Then we're gonna still keep pulling on you, right?
And you create an impact of an impact of an impact. I was like, whoa, oh my God. This just made my whole week. This has made my whole week, Quinn. Thank you so much.
It's made my week. I'm enjoying this. Yes.
We got to do like a series 2, a series 3, a series.
By all means, you just tell me.
And then I already got in my mind. I got other platforms afterwards. I'm going to tell you about that. People need to bring you on. So
for sure. Yeah,
definitely. Wow. Okay. Let me calm down.
Calm down.
It's okay.
Now you see why people come up to me and say, "When I die."
Yes. Well, now I see that. So now I got to talk to my low whoever that's gonna lay me to rest and say, "Okay, I need one thing from you."
No time soon. 100 years from now, maybe.
Oh my God. Yeah, I want to be just a little bit longer to help people get on their platforms. But yeah,
Yeah.
oh my God, Quinn, thank you so much. I
Well,
really
thank you. Thank
appreciated
you.
this. And
Thank you for
now,
having me.
before we go, because I know, I guess I gave the time because I wanted people to hear this. I said, no, this he want to play another song. I don't care about the time right now. But please tell people where they can contact you. I mean, they definitely
Sure.
need to reach out to you.
Sure. So I do have my own website, quinnmitchell.com, quinnmitchell.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm there as well on Instagram. I am Quinn Mitchell at I am Quinn Mitchell on Instagram. But yeah, best way you can just find my website, quinnmitchell.com, and there's a contact info there. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear from you for sure.
Yes. And believe me, we're gonna be hearing from you more. We're gonna talk. And like I said, seeing you on other platforms, people have to hear the talent and gifts that you have.
Well, thank
Just
you.
creating that atmosphere. I mean, you could just feel it just as soon as you started playing. It's like it's just like, wow, the
It
effect.
just fills
So
the air, right?
yes, you feel the atmosphere with so much love and just,
Yes.
oh yeah, you can feel the power of it. You can feel. See, that's when I tell people. That's when you know that your gift and your passion and everything else. That's when it flows, just like that. How you did in your music. That's
Yeah.
how it happens in life.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
any last? I always, want to give my special guests any last words of wisdom or tips that you want to give the listeners.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the music, so obviously I'm looking at this as opportunity for me to bless people, to minister to people, to again impact them, change them. And when it comes to in the church environment, so I'm using that music to draw people into the presence of God. And so there's a big difference of just being an entertainer, right, versus a musician or a psalmist. And so I kind of like to look at myself as being like a psalmist in that church platform arena. And then inviting that presence of God into that place, wherever it may be, whether it's even in your home, if people are tapping and listening at home, playing so that the presence of God, the anointing of God, his blessings, his presence there is felt and experienced, right? So it draws people. That's the goal, to draw people to God in their personal relationship with him. And even, taking that concept and that idea even outside of the church four walls there, even whether it's from playing at a wedding or so, again, changing and creating that atmosphere where people are recognizing, there's something different. It's not just, a musician. This guy, there's something different about him. And so it all just kind of points back to God who gave the gift and the talent. So keep tapping in, and a little bit more and more, you're going to find God. You're not going to find just Quinn. You're going to find the one who's the giver of the gift and the blessings, and
you're a
the
tool.
creator of life.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. So
yeah,
that's all I want to be, is that tool to kind of help draw people to their maker.
Well, you keep doing that, because we all need that.
Yes, for
And
sure,
if anybody doesn't get anything from there, I don't know, their heads in the sand. I don't know what's wrong with them. But I tell people, I said, something is going on with you. That's what I tell people. You got the problem.
Yes, for sure,
But thank you. I appreciate it. You have blessed me so much this morning. And I know the listeners, because I see them popping in and out, because I can see the numbers thing coming in. And I can just tell they were really just vibing with you. So thank you so much. And again, like I said, we'll talk, because I got to bring you back on. I made history today. You're my first musician.
Hey, I'm liking the sound. Hey, I'm going to come back to you, Barbara, and say, hey, give me a little testimony or something of being your first on your show.
Oh, yeah,
so that
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll write it up in a heartbeat. If you want me to do video on it, whatever.
Hey, we can do that too. Video's even better, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll talk. I'll make sure people need to know. That's one thing about, I tell people in a heartbeat, I'll be your cheerleader. I'll make sure that people know who you are and really need to. So I'll get it together and help you out with that.
I like cheerleaders like you. All right.
We gotta help. See, that's what your sequence is all about, helping each other and growing to that next level. Because if I can see you go sky high, then it's just we all come together, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Well, let me know too if there's a way that I can be of a help and blessing to you. I have other friends that are in different arenas, authors and speakers and so on. So if you different things, particular things that you may be looking for, then by all means, I'll send people your way.
Tell them to come on the show. I love to, just like I said, this is a platform, like I said, just last month, because I get numbers every month of the viewers for the show, and we hit 31,000 viewers for the whole month.
Wow.
So I was like, what?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I'm like, where'd they come? The first thing I was asking Quinn was, okay, where'd they come from?
Where'd they come from, right? Hey, that's all right.
I said, I'm not going to question it too much. I'll just, let God and let the blessings come. And I'll take it. Let me be quiet. Because sometimes you can mess up your own blessings by talking too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. And I just put a smile on my face because now it gives more people to see like you and, Dr. Tami that was on earlier. That's why I love it, because it gives a platform so people can see these genius, these gifts that we need to really honor like you. So, yeah, I'll come on every day if I had to do that to help people uplift what they need to do. So,
well, I definitely appreciate it. This was really a blessing. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, like I said, you'll be back. You'll be back.
Hey, I'm liking the sound of that.
Put it out there. Well, you take care.
Make sure it's not at a time I'm doing somebody's funeral. No.
Oh, no. yeah, please, let me sure before you got to play it, because I know you have a schedule. You take care, Quinn. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye.
I'm hanging on your every word, the love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground.
OMG, I hope you stayed on for the whole show. I mean, we started with the Queen, Tami. I always say Tami because she goes by Tami, Dr. Tami, giving us so much insight about, making yourself visible and making you a star and a celebrity status, what she does for you. And then on top of that, then we were right into Mr. Quinn. With his saxophone playing, I'm just full. I'm ready to do this. And what's so funny about it, right after this, I got to start working the next hour. I mean, my day job. And I was like, I'm ready. I can't let them destroy it. I'm ready. So I want to leave you with this because, I had to leave you with something where I started off with. So I read a passage in this wonderful book, Taking Responsibilities, Unleash True Healing. You have to get this book. There is so much good, rich quotes and little stories and passages that will really help you fulfill your life every day. But I'm going to read it again. It says, "At time allows your heart to guide your actions. At times, allow your heart to guide your actions, You will indirectly improve your own existence when you do your best to help other people realize their dreams. The time and resources you invest in others is always returned to you as a humanity change for the better. You may only be able to help one person do one thing, yet your intentions go forward, inspiring others to follow in your footsteps. Today, have others' interests in mind and follow your heart. Be genuine. Enjoy the day." So with that said, follow your heart today. If it tells you to help another individual, please do, because that's what it's all about. We need to help and heal each other. We need to understand each other's PPD, your purpose, your passion, your drive, to understand, to respect that in other people's lives, because that genius, that gift that they have in them, what I call the diamond factor, helps move forward all of us in life. So with that, just go out there, say happy money to people, be a blessing to others, because you are a blessing in life. and show those gifts and talents, because we all need to come together. We all need to come together to learn and grow with each other. And with that, I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we have our lineup. Mr. Barry Mixon is going to be in the house. And then Miss Laura Armstrong talking about personalities and how to talk to each other. So with that, I commend you all, and we'll see each other on Wednesday.